Okay, well, we'll make it private so Stan won't see.
That's not it. It's okay, Peter. Don't worry.
It's okay. That's what I need you to draw right there.
Are you serious?
Yeah. That should be easy, right? No. Yeah. 1 minute starting on the 6. You can go right there. Yes. Go ahead. This is what she's drawing. Got it.
Okay, girls, do you know what this is?
Okay, you can't talk. It's a knife.
No.
A candle.
Somebody's going to get shaved. Now remember, their group has control. Only they can get... You can't write letters.
Oops.
That's not bad. It's a toilet knife. 35 seconds. You can yell out as much as you want.
Is it a bad contraception?
Makeup. Yes!
How did you go from contraceptive to makeup? It is makeup, and you thought it was going to be hard. What's the significance of makeup from the presidential chapter?
Oh my gosh, Nixon!
What about Nixon?
Yes, black and white television.
Explain it to me. What was it?
Or a black suit.
No. What was it? What was going to be? What happened in
It
1960?
was the debate.
What was the first presidential debates?
Televised.
First televised. 1, 2, 3, 4. First televised presidential debate. And who was in it?
It was Nixon and
Nixon. 1, 2, 3, 4, and
John F. Kennedy.
John F. Kennedy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tell me more.
Okay, so Nixon bought a black suit, and he was going to be on black and white. Nixon was also...
That's never happened before. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Nixon looked very pale, while John F. Kennedy looked very tan.
Nixon actually looked pale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Why was that exactly?
Because he was from the hospital.
He actually had just gotten out of the hospital. Yes. Why did Kennedy look tan?
He just came from California.
Just came from California. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anything else?
Yes. So Nixon, they pulled him aside and was like, "You look really pale. Let's put some makeup." He's like, "I don't want to look like a gay, you know." Yeah.
Look like a gay guy. Okay, I got you. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he refused. What else did Nixon mess up during the debate?
And so JFK knew to look at the camera so
Yes.
that he could connect with people.
And Nixon?
And Nixon, the moderator. He's
Nixon looked at the moderator.
Yeah.
Every class I went into, I looked at one person and called out the wrong name, and people thought I had lost it, man. But that's what Nixon did. And it's hard to talk or listen to people when they're not talking. What else did he mess up? There was the color, there was the makeup, there was the moderator, there was something else. His suit. What about his suit?
Blended in with the background, so it looked like he had a floating head.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it actually did. His suit blended in, which only accentuated the paleness. What was the result of the debate?
There was.
Go ahead.
The people who listened to it, they thought that Nixon
Listen to it on...
on the radio.
Yes.
Thought Nixon had won, but the people who watched it on television, they thought Kennedy had won.
And why? What would you be judging if you were listening to it on the radio? His ideas. Nixon thought that he had gotten robbed. They say that you don't win an election because of a debate, but you lose it. 1960 is why. Go ahead, touch the house. Pick me a category. Y'all have a very comfortable lead now. Go ahead, pick one. Let's go.
Articles for 2 points.
Articles for 2. List all you can. Click it. Executive order. You've got it first. First hand I see has it next. 5, 4. Huh?
The president has the power to issue executive orders.
Yeah, okay. What does that mean?
It means it doesn't have to go through Congress or the Senate.
So an executive order is what?
It's like a law.
Without...
Having to pass it.
Yeah, an executive order is where the president can actually make law that does not have to be passed by the Congress. Go ahead, it looks like you want to say something.
So it doesn't have to be a bill first.
Doesn't have to be, okay, now I got that. Well, what else can you tell me about it?
Oh, I was just going to talk about the SNL sketch that we saw.
Go ahead.
Because they were making fun of President Barack Obama for passing an executive order for
5, 4,
Yeah.
3.
immigrants.
Undocumented immigrants, that's right. 1, 2, anything else?
The end.
The end. Anybody else? First, go ahead, Linda.
The next president can scrap it.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually only binding. It's actually only binding on the president that initiates it. It is not binding on any others. What area of law, what area of policy can the president actually make an executive order? Can he make it about anything he wants? Or is it limited? Or can you give me an example of other executive orders that we talked about in class? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead, Brian. Who did that? FDR, Jessica's ex, good job. Actually issued an executive order under his commander-in-chief power relocating the Japanese Americans. Any others that y'all can think of? 5, 4, y'all still have it. 3, you're in second place. 2, but not by much. 1, y'all are already out. Harry Truman integrated the armed forces. Remember, an executive order is where the president can make law without the Congress, but it has to deal specifically with Article 2 or executive powers. Can't just do it over anything you want. Y'all are in second place. Pick me a category. Zoom in on Aji.
Chapter questions.
Chapter questions. This should be good. How often do Supreme Court justices change their minds? If you were to look from the original time when they argue in court or in chambers, when they actually discuss things in conference, to when the final vote comes out, according to the chapter, how often do they change their minds? Okay, nobody's reading. Go ahead, click it, Aji. 50%. Aji's going quick. Go ahead, pick me the next category. Aji doesn't want you to pick chapter questions.
Okay, judiciary for 1 point.
Judiciary for 1. Truth, justice, and the American way. What is it that the court can guarantee when you go to court? What is it that the court is supposed to guarantee when you have a trial? 5.
A fair trial.
Fairness. Yeah, fairness. Go ahead, click it. And the last word is fairness. Pick me a category.
Judiciary for 2 points.
Judiciary for 2. Criminal law and civil law. What's the difference? Go ahead.
Criminal law is like, it's like the state versus an individual.
It is a state versus an individual.
And civil law is like an individual against an individual.
Okay, what's the difference?
Criminal, you can go to prison, but civil you can't.
Criminal, you're technically looking at prison, your liberty, maybe you're looking at the death penalty. What are you going to civil court for?
Money.
Money or damages. What's the difference in the standard of proof? 5. Go ahead, you guys have it.
Criminal is beyond reasonable doubt.
The highest standard possible. Go ahead. 3.
I don't know what it's called, but it's like the preponderance.
Preponderance. That is what it's called. 1, 2. Go ahead, click it. Man, this is really bad because this is really bad. Go ahead, pick me a category. Go ahead. Go.
3 points for the judiciary.
You go, guys.
First hand I see, mootness. Go ahead. 5. Your group's got it. 4.
Case is resolved if like it's
Say what now?
Case is resolved if it's mooted.
A case is resolved when? 5. Anybody can answer. You'll have it.
If the case is resolved itself before you go to court, then you have no choice.
If a case resolves itself before you go to court, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is considered mootness. Can y'all give me any examples of mootness? Y'all have control.
Roe v. Wade.
How?
She wasn't pregnant when the decision was made, so they could have thrown out the case, but they didn't.
They actually could have. 1, 2, 3. Ultimately, in this one, she was pregnant. She was suing for an abortion. By the time it got to court, she wasn't pregnant anymore. She had had the baby. You could argue that that was moot. Do you remember how they got around that? Because if they could have thrown it out because it was moot, but they didn't. They ultimately ruled. How did they get around that? 5.
It was for other people that could possibly be in the same situation.
It was. There were millions of other similarly situated women in the country, meaning pregnant, and it would be a shame if biology prevented them from getting a legal decision. Any other example you can give me as you move into second place?
The example we gave between me and Isaiah when we both got into the same school. He got into the school and I didn't.
Yes.
Based off race, and they could have thrown out the case if they said that. Dang it.
Is there a higher grade? No, lower grade than
Yeah,
you?
lower grades than I did.
Yes.
And I had higher grades, and
He got in, but you didn't. And you said you would sue. What would you sue for?
discrimination,
What would you sue to get? Ultimately, what would you want to win?
acceptance
Acceptance. How would they make it moot before you got to court?
by giving me admission.
They would admit you oftentimes at the very, very last second. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, click it. Pick me a category. Comfortably in second place now.
Judiciary for 4 points.
Judiciary for 4. When you get on a roll, first hand I see. What is ripeness?
Oh,
It is you.
Yes. ripeness, green bananas. So
Zoom in, PJ.
it's the green bananas rule.
Okay.
So before something can
5.
no, stop.
4.
Stop. I know what
3.
it is. Can I finish?
2.
It's not ready for
Thank you.
to be reviewed.
What does that mean?
He's like the